Very
She
proud.
speaks French, guys.
I speak French. Bonjour, comment ça va? Est-ce que
Et
vous
toi?
allez bien?
Hey.
Je m'appelle Glory Mafor et je suis ravie d'être sur le podcast d'Abimbola aujourd'hui. So my name is, I already said my name. And
I'm
I
just
am,
thinking, who will subtitle that one now?
Don't
Who
worry,
translates?
I will send you the.
Thank you. Because it's only comment ça va. Okay.
Let me just say what I said was I'm very happy to be on this podcast today.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome to the Feel Proof podcast. This is episode number, to be honest, I'm not sure. I don't know. But on today's episode, we have no other person, but I don't know if you can tell from the flag she's wearing. I know it's a jersey, but it's a flag. The first lady of Cameroon. That's what like Igbo people call Cameroon.
Yes.
So it's Cameroon.
It's like the German version.
Oh, is that what Germans call it?
Yes, that's how Germans.
Cameroon.
Yes, Cameroon.
Are they Igbo?
Mm.
Are they...
No, as in because they spelled it like Kamerun.
I see.
So I think it's that.
I wonder what they call Nigeria. Anyway, I digress. First lady of Cameroon is in the building. Essentially,
it's a joke.
Right?
Let them come and knock me off.
When I told her the first time, she was like, "Paul Bia is shaking.
Chantal Bia is shaking. Mama is a joke.
The two both of them. Are you scared?
Yes, please.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Anyway, I'm very happy to have Mafor. Mafor is going to introduce herself. Mafor is a good friend of mine, and if you're a good friend of mine right now, I am sure that I have harassed you to be on this podcast.
Exactly.
But anyway, no. I don't mean harassment in a bad way. I mean in a way that you will enjoy. So yeah, I'm going to just pass the mic to Mafor. First of all, something amazing happened yesterday.
Okay.
You know what it is. I know you know.
What amazing happened?
Mafor ate amala for the first time.
Oh yeah.
You understand? When I met Mafor, she did not know what amala was. But like I advocated for amala so much that she came to Nigeria, went to Lagos, went to like how many states have you been to in Nigeria?
2 states.
Very good. This is her third state that she's visiting. And she said she kept it, that she's not going to eat amala until she sees her people. I don't know what ambassadorship is if that is not.
But if there's a face of amala, it should be you. At this point,
honestly, like I don't know.
A deal. Yeah, or you should give you a brand,
You know, or maybe there's like a startup that wants to revolutionize the reputation of amala. I'm saying it with my full chest now. Look for me. My name is Abimbola Ogundare. Okay. Anyway, Mafor had amala for the first time yesterday, and
it was. I
wanted to do drum roll, but you have started. Let us know what the experience was. Hold nothing back.
Amala was great too. The amala was really good. It was really good. I think it was better than I was expecting, especially because a lot of people I've heard talk about amala, like people who are not Nigerians. They were like, it doesn't look, why is it like that? Why is the color like this? Up and down, but it was actually really nice. It blew my mind. I loved it so much.
Humility right now because my head is swelling.
I mean, I think we still have like the best food on the continent in Cameroon, but amala is really.
You're wearing the flag, so you cannot even say anything against this. They will actually report you. But anyway, you've heard it from the first lady of Cameroon's mouth. If you've ever had reason to doubt amala, maybe you should visit me. Maybe that's the thing.
Yes.
Maybe they
are not eating the right amala.
I'll plug you.
Yes.
Anyway, because she has done that, I feel like that just sets the place. I know amala has nothing to do with this. I just really need to like plug it in. We found that this was a very good day. We're just chilling. We're like, you know what? This is a very good day to talk about our failures.
Yes. Very good day.
Very good day. So after telling us like one of the best things that ever happened to you yesterday, eating amala. Now please proceed to introduce yourself to the Feel Proof community.
Okay. Hello, Feel Proof community again. My name is Glory Mafor. I am Cameroonian, born and raised, very proud.
She speaks French, guys.
I speak French. Bonjour, comment ça va? Est-ce que vous allez bien?
Hey.
Je m'appelle Glory Mafor et je suis ravie d'être sur le podcast d'Abimbola aujourd'hui. So my name is, I already said my name. And
I'm
I
just
am,
thinking, who will subtitle that one now?
don't
Who
worry,
translates?
I will send you the.
Thank you. Because it's only common Sava. Okay.
Let me just say what I said was I'm very happy to be on this podcast today. So I am.
Yeah, so
I,
what do you do?
what do I
What
do?
are you current? What was the last thing you tried and failed at?
Um,
Use it to introduce yourself so we know the kind of
the
things you failed
last
at.
thing I tried and failed at, like the most recent, Abby,
Yeah, like the freshest thing in your memory.
it has to be doing my hair.
Wait, what happened?
As in, no, I cannot braid to save my life.
You tried to braid your hair.
Yes, even just like when I try to do my hair in a specific style, like my hair now by myself,
Wow.
it's really hard. Like I try,
Yeah.
and I mean YouTubers have really helped
True.
me. Shout out to some really good
True.
African, natural hair YouTubers. But
It doesn't work.
as in,
You know what I feel? You just made me think. I wonder how, when they say hair making for dummies or biology for dummies.
yes,
Imagine you've gone to the for dummies, but you're still not
it's still
getting.
not going. You know, some things, and the thing is, I think I have really good. Okay, I think the issue is that I don't really have good coordination with my hand and my hair, especially if I'm looking in a mirror.
You told me you don't have coordination with your hand and leg too.
No,
Are you
no,
sure
no,
you
no,
have
no.
any
I
coordination?
have coordination.
Okay.
I'm an instrumentalist. Of course, I have coordination.
Sorry,
I
she
play
just had to
instruments.
brag.
Yes, like I play the piano. I play. I started playing the bass guitar. Of course, I
Are you
have
serious?
coordination. Yes.
Bass guitar, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's so... Okay, but it just does not apply to your hair and your legs.
It doesn't apply because I think it's also a mirror thing. Like my brain is not. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Like that. I don't know if I'm the only
It's like when
person
you're
who
trying
has
to
that.
reverse.
Yes, who has that coordination with reverse in the mirror. Like I'm trying to do it like this. The mirror is showing what's happening.
I see.
Yes, I think it's,
Okay.
it's that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
at least we know now Mafor doesn't have coordination with hair and leg. All right. So yeah, what do you do? What are you busy with?
I'm a writer. Specifically, I love writing poetry. I'm a Christian poet and spoken word poet as well. I'm I'm an editor. Love editing. I'm a worship leader. What else do I do? Worship leader, of course, which means I sing.
I
And
thought you were
I
going to
play
just gloss over that. I was going to bring you back, so I'm happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I sing and I play instruments, and I'm a communicator, so media communications professional. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more you're not telling me.
What could that be?
Yeah,
I do a lot of things.
now.
Let me see what else.
She's a firstborn daughter.
I'm a firstborn daughter. Yeah, that's a whole
It's a title,
job.
bro.
Like that's a full-time job. I'm a firstborn daughter. Not only that, my siblings are like 10, 15 years younger than me. So I'm an assistant mom.
Not an assistant. You're the real mom. Your mom is now the assistant. Because they'll probably relate to you better.
I'm not saying my parents this podcast.
Sorry, mommy Mafor. I'm sorry. When you see me,
You are the real mom.
You are the real mom.
Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we're going to give you a 30-second ad.
Okay.
Because we're about to enter like the main while we're here, which is just like tell us about your failures. But if we were to brag about the success that you feel like is the floweriest, if I can use that word, of your life, and I give you 30, okay, fine, I'll give you 1 minute.
The floweriest success
the
of
biggest
my
success
life.
of Mafor's life.
Wow. Does it have to be like an event, or can it be?
It could be anything.
Can it be like something I think I'm succeeding
Yeah.
at? Okay.
Ta-da. Your 1 minute
I
is
think
going.
that's the thing. Like I don't know how to brag about myself. I should probably go and learn.
Right.
But I think that the thing that I believe I'm succeeding at is my friendships. I think it's at the risk of being cocky. I'm not like the most.
It's okay.
You
You will be
friendly.
less cocky when you start talking about the
Right,
failure. So use this time.
exactly. I think that if I hear when I listen to my friends talk about our relationship, as in my relationship with them, I feel like, yeah,
You've hacked it.
this is something I'm doing right. I've hacked it. I've
So
hacked
if Forbes
friendships.
40 or no sorry
Mhm.
30 under 30 or 40 under 40, we know, did you listen to the first episode where we said we're going to have the losers club?
Ah,
Yes, yes. But anyway, the real people now, if they come and meet you and they say, we somebody nominated you to be enlisted in like top 40 under 40.
Mhm.
Tell us your biggest achievements
Yes,
so that we can put it as a synopsis under your picture. That's what you
yeah,
put, your friendships.
that's what I would put. I think that's what I
Wow.
would put.
That actually says a lot.
Yes.
And do you know why?
Why?
Because you're living, because it can be verified and it's entirely dependent on what your friends think.
Say exactly, exactly. It's
It's
not.
sure for
It's
you.
not. And I mean,
Like,
I'm saying this, and I'm like, hi. They interview my friends now. My
exactly. It's
people.
like being I don't know, a digital marketer or like a social media something. And
Mhm.
the reason I don't like is because your success is entirely dependent on other people's opinions. Did
Yes,
they like your stuff? And but you are sure.
I think I'm. Yes, this one
That
I'm
says
sure.
a lot. Mafor is a good
This
friend.
one
So
I'm
if you're
very
looking for
sure.
good friends, maybe you should reach out to her. Now I
I'm
don't.
also an introvert,
So how will you do?
so
Oh,
I
and
don't.
Mafor
I
sends
don't
the
have
longest
space.
voice notes. If you want to be Mafor's friend, just get ready. You wake up. How many minutes should they prepare for? How many minutes voice
I
notes?
do 30 without batting an eyelid, like 30 minutes. I can do
Why not just call
my.
me?
So I have a friend who says, just do the EP. Yeah, I sent another EP today, madam.
Jesus.
Oh, thank you for the album.
Oh God. But wait, for 30 minutes, I see why you used to enjoy those empathy walks thing you used to
Yes,
do.
I love
Like
talking.
30 minutes uninterrupted, you don't need somebody to be like, what now happened?
Mm-mm.
You're good.
Very good. And I know exactly what I want to say. You know how when people send 5 voice notes, I listen to all 5, I make mental notes of the points, and I respond to those 5 in one
30
15.
minutes voice.
Yes. And I respond accordingly.
Do you know, I won't lie. When you sent the last voice note you sent to me, when it was 2 minutes, when I saw voice note, I was scared. I did not know how long it would be, but I'm grateful it was 2
I'm
minutes.
such a voice note queen. I
Okay.
like, why type when you can speak?
Why not just call? But
But you can't always call people.
then schedule it like all normal adults do.
Sometimes it's like, why not? Okay, if I wanted to ask something like, Abimbola, what do you think about so and so and so and so? I would not need to schedule a call to ask you.
But you can do 30 minutes voice note.
Well, but the 30 minutes is not always, it's not, it doesn't
I
happen
think you must
always.
actually be a really good person, because if you're a bad person and you send people those kind of voice notes, they would
They
have
will
blocked
not
you.
listen. Yes. But okay, please, disclaimer. I don't send 30-minute voice notes every day. I mostly do them on demand. Like if a friend says, oh, you're owing me this gist, and I'm like, okay, I will send you a
Voice
long voice
notes.
note with it. But generally, I don't just wake up in the morning like, I've been bola for 30 minutes. No.
No, it makes
I
sense.
do
It makes
2 minutes,
sense.
3 minutes, or if you ask me for feedback, for example, on your writing,
Okay,
I
okay,
would
okay.
send, that kind
I
of
mean, it
thing.
makes sense. You are a writer, an editor, a
Yes,
communicator, so there are plenty of words in your in your
exactly.
in your being
Yes, you have
to
to.
exude.
Mhm, mm.
Makes sense. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All
Yep.
right, so we're going into like the meat of the matter now.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
It's not that deep. So
Uh,
I don't want to start from the big one. I want you to ease you into this. If you think of the word failure,
mhm.
and let me see, it's like your childhood. When was the first time, if you can recall, you thought to yourself, "Wow,
I
I
feel.
failed," or
Hmm.
maybe not the first time, but like the most memorable, earliest memory. I
Mhm.
know I use memory in many ways, but like
Yes,
when you said, "Wow, I failed,"
I failed. I failed.
and it could be in any academic, family.
Mhm. Okay.
The first time
I
you tried
did.
to cook.
I did not fail a lot when I was very little, and I think I and not to say that I did everything perfectly, but I didn't have a concept of failure.
Hmm.
A lot of things were okay. You did this thing, it didn't work out, but
That's
nobody
it.
said you failed. I think that was the thing. But one thing that clearly stands out to me all the time, like I've thought about this very specific memory, was when they asked us, maybe class 2, class 3, class
Is
3,
that
class
primary?
4. Yes, primary
Okay.
school. They asked us to go home and find out the opposite of sharp.
Sharp.
Yes, like sharp, right? Go and find out the opposite of sharp and come back and report. Very simple assignment. And then I went home and then I asked, what is the opposite of sharp? My mom said it, blunt. But for some reason, I didn't hear it clearly.
Okay.
I think I heard blur or something. I heard something else. And then I went to school and, as the teacher said, oh, I gave an assignment. Who who has done it? Everybody was like, yes, madam. So what is the opposite of sharp? I put up my hand very quickly, like,
Based
me.
on who you
I
be.
know, do you know me? I stood up, madam, the opposite of sharp is borrow. Just like, what? I said, borrow. I don't know what I said. And then this other guy, he puts up his hand and they call him and said the opposite of sharp is blunt. And then he pronounces it clearly, yes. And I was like,
Somebody lied to me.
I can never forget it. I had a wrong answer in front of everybody.
You did not fail in secret.
No,
With confidence.
it's the way I was sure. I have never asked him. That's the first time I heard the word blunt.
Yeah.
And I have never forgotten where I learned the word blunt.
Mad. Why do you think it mattered to you so much that he said blur?
Yeah. Because now I thought about it like, what did I hear? I probably heard blur when they said
Maybe she was eating something.
Yes, something happened. Something was lost in translation, and I didn't hear. And for me, it was such a painful thing because I was the child who knew everything in class. Like whenever they gave this kind of assignments, my parents are very, they would give me the answers. So
do you have any physical reaction to failing? Like as a child, did you? The reason I'm asking is if that thing had happened to me, there's something that would have fallen.
I think it was just embarrassment. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I was like, this is new.
Do you think that affected how you answered questions or how you received information going forward?
After that, no.
Okay.
No, I think like going forward, what it made me do was it made me very intentional. So like when they gave another assignment and then I went and asked, and then maybe like, what is this? I said, say it again, spell it, write it down,
transcribe.
I can't go and mess up.
Okay. So, how old were you when this happened?
In class 3, I should say I was 7.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine a 7-year-old feeling embarrassment?
Yes.
Did you even know what embarrassment is at that age?
I was very embarrassed. Like, it's me people are talking about.
The guy that now said blunt.
Yes, and he's also a very smart person. So I was like, he must equally be you. Of all people.
Can I confess, when you were saying just the opposite of sharp, do you know what came to my mind?
What?
Dull.
Dull,
like
dull.
You know somebody's like, you are sharp.
But they actually specified like knife.
Okay,
like
that
object,
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought maybe like I wasn't
general,
so smart.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, that's a very interesting early memory. So now that you have grown up,
yes.
What's the funniest or the one that makes you laugh at yourself when you think, you are very smart. So in academics, I'm pretty sure you never failed. You did.
Of course, because I failed a lot in the sciences. Yes, when I kid you not.
What were you supposed to be when you were growing up? Like, what did they tell you to be?
A doctor. So I was like, okay, we're going to be a doctor and everything. Secondary school. And then the thing is, in primary school, everything was easy. Yeah. And then early secondary school, everything was also relatively easy. And then when I get into Form 3, Form 4, I wasn't understanding 4 on 30 in physics. Like, please, what's happening?
It's always
like
physics.
When I have 5 on 30,
it's always physics.
I've tried. Oh, like, what is this refraction? Please.
What?
What is all of this? So physics, chemistry. I mean, biology was a lot easier, but physics and
Because they
chemistry,
spoke
they
English. The
whoop.
other ones, they
Thank
spoke
you. Languages that you had. What is
alien.
or something new? Strontium nitrate.
I don't even remember the subheadings.
Excuse me. And the funny thing is now, sometimes I remember some things in physics class that I use in my daily life.
Really?
Yes, until I'm even talking to my siblings, like, didn't you just do this in physics? Did they not tell you that you don't put hot things on glass? Come and see me now talking as if they see my people. 4 on physics, I've been 4 on 30 in physics,
Well,
5 on 30. I
well.
was barely passing. Math. What are you talking? Math. Oh,
How
dear
did
Lord.
your parents or like your teachers react to that failure period of your life where they has to do with sciences?
I think one thing that my parents did, which I'm really grateful for, they got me a home teacher. Like, let's,
Help your
because
dog, your blunt self.
this medical career,
It must work.
yeah. So, and they always ask like, what's happening? It's not going. But you know what? I honestly feel like it was the teachers,
Okay.
and not that the teachers weren't doing a good job, but I feel that I when I went to Form 5, that's where you write like the GC ordinary level. We had a new math teacher who didn't teach us in Form 3 and Form 4, and this guy taught math in a way that Abimbola, I mean me who was coming from 4 on 30, when we wrote the pre-mock, I was the first in my class. In math, you cannot like when he called my name, when he first of all came in with the papers and he was like, who is going Mafor? I said, ha,
I failed.
I have got it. This is it. I have carried the entire class. I was like, which dull child is this? This child has no home. That's literally how I felt. I stood up so embarrassed.
Already.
Yes, because I knew I can't be passing. He has to be failing. And then he said, how did you do it? I said, do what? You want me to now explain how I feel more than everybody. So imagine that my dad actually came to school and said, I want to show me that teacher. I want to see the miracle worker. Yes, because they couldn't believe, my family could not believe this child knew. So I think that and he taught it with a lot of passion. He was able to communicate in a way that I got it. It was simple functions. This thing is simple. But the other teachers were just like focusing on brighter students, every going along with
Maybe I lost causes.
Yes, the rest of you.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we got a home teacher. I had a home teacher, tried my best. So, I mean, I was managing with averages, 10 average. I will fail and fail and fail, and then, struggle. One small 13 on 20 will balance. Or maybe 15. One time when it was a simple subject, we just balance it, then I'll just cross with 10 average. Yeah.
Oh wow! And that was how you graduated. So, at what point did all of you figure out that okay, it's like this doctor thing is not going to work?
The funny thing is, I really studied hard, like for the GC. I read. So in the GC, I passed my science subjects, right? And I passed them with B's.
Oh, so you could have actually continued to do
exactly
the doctor thing.
So that's why my family was like, no, you can actually do this thing when you're going to high school. Because in Cameroon, in high school, you choose arts or science. So you can go to like lower seat arts or lower seat science. And when I was going to high school, when I was going to register, my parents were telling me I should register in science. They'll continue to get me the home teacher. We can do this. We can do this. You see, you had B's. You actually you're not dull.
You're not dull. You're not blunt.
If you know the struggle. I kept thinking in my head, I fought too much. I didn't sleep. I was
not
struggling.
Sustainable.
Yes. Whereas I could sleep and wake up and write history. I could sleep and wake up and write English. But I had to spend sleepless nights studying for physics just to go and have a B. So I was like, no. I went to arts.
And they were cool with that?
It was not easy in the beginning.
But
eventually they realized that I was actually really doing well in the arts. It was like better to have a a bright child, a child that is passing well.
Then,
That's
so
yeah.
did you at any point reckon that as like a giving up on something you were supposed to do, or do you understand, like the
Mm,
dream all of you had cultivated was be a doctor?
be
So
a
how did
doctor.
it feel to let go of that? Like, okay,
It
this
was
doesn't
relieving. It
really.
was such a relief.
Oh
It
wow.
was such a relief. Like finally, I can focus on history, literature, French, English, things that make me happy. It was such a relief.
You know what I'm hearing? You said something earlier that I forgot the exact way you put it, but it's a matter of like being in your lane, right?
Mhm.
You said something, yeah, I remember. You said when you were younger, you didn't think of it as, oh, I
I
tried, I
failed.
failed. It's just
Yes,
I tried, it didn't work. So
exactly.
like,
Hmm.
what's the next thing?
Yeah.
And I think you applied that to not becoming a doctor anymore because your mind, first of all, it's good that
I
you
think this one I was
proved.
just rebellious also. We have to put
Oh,
it there because
okay.
it's like
I cannot come and go and die.
exactly.
But that's also it because
Yes.
you could have stuck to it as shebi I got B. We keep going. Why?
Yes.
Because doctor must doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But you just said, okay, take your B.
I passed. I tried.
Peace, guys. And then you went to the other things and you saw it as relieving. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Mhm.
I'm happy for you.
Thank
Because I
you.
cannot imagine you as a doctor now. I think I
I,
mean, we would
I
know.
would have probably made it. I mean, I honestly think that I would probably make a good doctor,
Like an okay
an
doctor.
okay doctor, yes. Just like,
Yeah.
getting by, knowing, trying to do the right thing. But it might never be something that I excel at and really
Yeah.
find like joy doing. Except maybe the people part, but like the science part, it would never have really
You know what I'm even thinking of now is how it might be coming across that we are saying, oh, you know what? If you try something and you fail, drop it
drop it and move
and
on.
move on.
Bro,
But like
please. People.
maybe it's not a dropping it,
Yes.
but a finding it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just said now you would have been a doctor, but like I don't know if the level of fulfillment you have now is what you'd have had. So it's
Exactly.
not looking at it as a failing to really get it here, but like
Yeah.
finding the thing where you really
You really
shine,
exactly.
where you really excel.
That's it.
That's cool.
That's it.
That's
I
actually
like
cool.
that.
That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Okay, now I want to know specifically,
Mm-hmm.
specifically,
Yes.
and if the last episode, well, not the last one of the previous ones, we talked about like being a firstborn daughter, and like my own experience has been, it really affects how you have relationships.
Ooh.
Like you are a manager. You're not
Exactly.
just a participant in the relationship. You
Yeah.
manage the entire relationship. So now I'm just spreading it open,
Mm-hmm.
generally, not just romantic or platonic or family. When have you ever failed at relationship? Whatever that means to you.
Yes.
That yes
Yes.
was so why do you how?
I feel that relationships several like when I tell you that I feel like I'm succeeding in my friendships it's because I know where I've come from. I know
Ah,
that
I
there's a big
see.
difference between
Yeah,
here and
then
yeah, way
yeah.
before I failed.
And what was this in relations? Was it friendship? Was it romantic? Like, what did it look? What did failure look like?
If it looked like not being present.
Hmm.
I think yeah, I would say not being present. I have vivid memory of secondary school, for example. I have vivid memory of friends that I had, and then one thing just happened.
Mm.
Something happened, or something I said, or something I did, and then it just messed up everything. And I always think back, like, what really happened? I can't even
Yeah.
place my finger on it, but this person was so dear to me.
Yeah.
And I really hurt them. And like, I remember, like, the facial expression
Are you
on one
serious?
of I remember this one very specifically. Very, very nice young friend of mine. So she was in a class below me. And she was so nice. And we had actually like become friends, and she would see me and she'd be like, Senior Glory, all of these. And
People used to call senior too.
yes,
Oh, that's so cute.
boarding school.
Oh.
So and then one day she sees me and she wants to hug me. But now it's like I think it was like I was going to class. She was also going to her class, so she wants to hug me. and all my classmates are passing and teachers, and it felt a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know, like this is, and it's an all girls school, so there's you're also trying to not paint a picture that you don't want people to assume
Yeah.
stuff, and so I recoiled.
From the hug.
Yes,
Visibly. Everybody saw
visibly,
it.
everybody saw it. Her face,
Oh.
I can never forget that day, and she never ever did that again. That senior girl, everything just finished. When she sees me, just hi senior, and then she passed outside.
And you knew at that
I
point.
knew that this is what happened. And that was a physical, like that was a physical, that's a very physical instance. But I feel like even with other relationships around that same season, even going into university, like my emotional response was like that. It
Yeah.
was recoiling from people, it was pushing people away, it was not understanding how to give love. A lot of people before I used to have like a friend actually told me, a friend, I mean, we're friends. I don't know how we're friends now because he has been gay.
Oh.
Like, you know, you can be very, you know, closed up and you reject people and you can be very selfish. And they told me all of those things. And I was like, you
Interesting.
know, so I mean, I don't think that, you know, now I'm 100% perfect where everybody's, you know, on a journey of becoming a better version of themselves. But I know that if there's one thing I feel that is relationships. I mean, case in point, I don't have any friend from secondary school now. As in somebody I went to secondary school
School
with,
with
we were in the
that you are
same
in touch.
dorm, we were in the same class. No, I mean, we're in touch like in the WhatsApp group.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, you're
are
even on the
we
WhatsApp group.
Yes,
I
I mean,
didn't
of
know.
course, like cordial and everything, but there's no one of them that I can say this is my person. I didn't keep any person
I
from
see.
secondary school,
I
from
like the way
primary
you put it.
school,
I didn't keep any person
uh
from that
from that
phase.
phase. I wasn't able to.
Wow.
So it's from like early like university, maybe even towards the end, third year, second year, third year,
Yeah.
that it started to be. I prayed, I begged God. I
Help
had to,
me.
yes, because how can you not have friends? It's a thing.
Yeah. But you know, the thing that I'm hearing you is that it's not like you were unaware
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden there was bright light and you're like, you know what, fix your friendships. You knew
No, I knew.
when
I
it
knew
was
that this was
happening.
something I was failing
So
at. Yeah.
can you talk to me about like how you knew but it still kept happening for that long?
Because it's like, it's how you know. It's just like maybe, let's just take driving practice, for example. You know the right thing to do, but it's almost like your body is still getting used to the reflexes. I need to change the gear to this. I need to. So is that thing where you know that
Yeah.
I should probably not do this, but you have already
So
done
you
it.
were practicing friendship the whole time.
Trying,
Oh
struggling. Yes,
wow.
really,
You know,
really
I've
struggling.
never heard this before. You know,
Really
I
struggling.
usually hear of stories of people who say, "Oh, I was, you know, very standoffish and then one day bam, you know." But I've
Mm.
never heard someone who says I was aware but it was a practice and there. So now and I'm actually happy when because you've given context
Mhm.
why succeeding at friendships is like the biggest win
Yes.
you will count now after having recorded, and I know you said you've not perfected it yet, but after having hit that mark where you say, wow, I'm actually flourishing in
Mhm.
my friendships right now, have you had like a setback? Or have you had one failure that has made you feel like, okay, if it were me, I
Mhm.
love streaks, I keep
Yes.
streaks. If I had been flourishing and then I had one failure,
Mhm.
I would probably throw away the entire success. That's just me. But like I'm trying to find out if it has happened for you where there's been that
Yes.
one failure that made you
Yes.
think differently
Mhm.
about the success you
The
already
success.
accomplished.
Yeah. And this is still in the context of
Yeah.
friendships. I would say yes. And you know what? When I said that I feel like I'm succeeding at friendships, immediately there was a thought like, so and
Are
so
you
person should
sure?
not see this podcast
Oh
because they was like,
wow.
Mafor, you are not. You
Yeah.
know, because I know that in that particular relationship, something is not working. It's not just working out. You know, and I know that there's something that is I'm failing at, and of course relationships are involve two people,
Give and take.
so there's another person involved. No matter what you do, sometimes another person, but this is not even a no matter what you do situation. It's I just know that I'm probably failing at this area, but I don't really have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
I don't have the bandwidth to put the 100% effort I need to put for this to work, which is a very
So
painful thing to admit. Like, I would love for
yeah.
this to get to this place, but I don't think I'm there emotionally. So it's like I'm watching it deteriorate. I'm like, I don't have power.
I can't save it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's definitely relationships that I feel like
Well,
a couple, very like this one specific one, but also, some here and there
so how
just
do you balance that in your head? And I,
mhm.
I actually want to really, really applaud the fact that your biggest win is relationship. But then you had those voices. So how do
Mhm.
you balance those two realities?
Because numbers.
Hmm.
Numbers. I can count on one hand the solid friendships that I have. I know that so this and this these are outliers. This is not
Ah,
exactly. These are outliers. This is the real story.
that's true.
Like these are the people that I can count and say, this person knows without a shadow of a doubt that I am their friend, that I'm there for them, that they
Yeah.
can count on me, that they
Wow.
can trust me. If you
Yeah.
wake them up from sleep,
Yeah.
they'll tell you these things.
Yeah.
So I think that it's just the numbers.
That's you just solved a lot of things for me because
Mm.
like I said, I like streaks.
Yes.
Even if I built 68 and then there's that one dip,
One.
I throw everything away.
I
But you
mean,
just
one
it's
68 versus
numbers.
one.
It's
That's a
numbers,
lot.
right?
Yes.
Right? That makes sense. And I
One
just
cannot compete with
with
68 because I'm
68.
like, imagine if one person, because okay, now we're talking about people and
Yeah.
relationships. If one person came and said, Mafor is this horrible person, and 68 people
Said
came and said, my friend, sit
no.
down and keep quiet.
Yeah.
You see the
And I think it would be so helpful. And I know your instance is relationship, but
mm,
imagine applying it to so many other things in
things.
life. Especially
I
for
wish I
someone
did.
you
No, that's
know.
what I think
No,
about it.
honestly, like
I wish I did
it's
with my Bible
counting.
study.
Thank you. The whole of May I've been, and then we have one May 27 because
I'm
it was
telling
Children's Day,
you.
and you said, "Let me go and lick ice cream."
And you
From there,
forgot.
you forgot. You slept off. You're like,
Yes.
I'm a
I wish I
failure.
did.
But like, if you count,
Mhm.
I wonder if God looks at us sometimes and he's like, "Baby girl, you will not believe it, but recording stopped, and we are just dead between people like mad.
I'm telling you.
Like, you will not." But anyway, Yoruba people have a proverb: "Ile Oba Tojo, Ewa Lobusi." The king's palace that burnt, it only added beauty to it, even though if it's in Nigeria. No problem. Because Nigeria is nullifying proverbs these days. You know how they say the patient dog eats the fattest bone?
If
They
you
there! Don't go and hustle. They play.
ah,
Nigeria will show you in this T-Pain era. Do you know who is T-Pain? That's the cutest name
I'm telling
we could
you.
have given our
Thank
president.
God for Twitter. I mean, for X.
Yeah. So yeah, we wrapped up friendships
Yeah.
with just count,
Mhm.
and it's cool if you've succeeded and then you fail again. It's cool. It does not remove the entire success. So
Exactly.
yeah. Um, Beyond friendships, romantically,
Mhm.
would you say there's been any aspects that you failed at as well? Because
Yes.
like that's the sweet spot for people our age. Like
Mm.
we are all. I don't say we're all failures. But like honestly, social media people will make you feel like, and to be very honest, I'm going to share this.
Okay.
Until recently, and I'm saying as recently as last month, I did not realize that my mindset had been not being married is like my mindset had been being single is failing to be married. Like that's what I equated it with in my
Oh.
head. And I
Oh
don't know, I
my
think I was praying
goodness.
or something. I can't remember, but
Mhm.
I'm like, wait, I'm always saying fail proof podcast. It's okay to fail. But like I didn't realize that I had internalized that your being single is equal to you failing to be married. Anyway, social media people will make you feel that way sometimes because you
Yeah.
cannot breathe. It choke.
Everywhere.
It choke.
People want to choke us.
Meanwhile, it's single, I not kill anybody. But anyway, so have you had any relationship with failure
Mhm.
as regards romance?
Yes. Yes. So this one, actually, not, of course, not just one. I mean, I'm too old for it to only be one. But
Well, would it not be good if it was just one?
I mean, in the sense that if the relationship failed,
And you just stayed and said no more.
right? Or what I mean by for it to only be one is that there are some that even just die on arrival. Is that how they say it? Like before it even started,
I
it
see.
just
I
failed.
see. I
Yes.
see.
So, but this one, this one actually, this one is one of the funniest for me because every time I think about it, I just laugh. Like, what was really going on? Because this is somebody that I was in a relationship with in my first year in uni, and so we started a relationship at the end of the first year, so June, July, and then the entire relationship lasted about 2 months.
Interesting.
Yes, 2.5 months or so. And so we leave school at the end of, because this person was in second year, they weren't my classmate. And then we leave school at the end of the year, and by the time we're coming back, I'm coming back for second year and he's coming back for third year. We're no longer in the relationship. And neither of us actually says that we're no longer in the relationship. And we just
Glide past it.
glide out of it. It's like it's like we just put an invisibility cloak on the relationship. I was like, what?
So you didn't ask him, he didn't ask you.
No. We never had
Why you to why did he ask you? Did he not say, did he say sorry? Did you forget that you're my girlfriend?
exactly, as in I don't know what to tell you. It was just we are no longer here, right? And then it was strange. It was strange also because some of my friends, a couple of my friends already knew, and they're like, "How far? How far?" I said, "How far? What?
Can you imagine? So you are
There's
gaslighting them.
there's nothing." Exactly. I was like,
You people gaslit yourselves out of
and
the relationship
thank you,
and
and
gaslit
gaslit our
your
friends.
friends.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. But for me, I was just like, I was 17 and he was older, and then he was talking about it was which is why I feel like if somebody doesn't, if you don't feel like you're ready to commit to somebody, you should not get into a relationship. I know that now, but at that time, it was just like, oh, I like this person. This
And
person is
that's enough, yeah.
amazing. Yeah. And they treat me, really well. We have a lot of things in common. We talk for hours. So, but now they're talking about serious things. I'm thinking about getting married and all of that. And in my 17-year-old brain, I'm like, excuse me, sir,
Yeah, who?
marry who? Me.
I'm not among.
As in, I just entered university.
I just escaped being a doctor.
Like,
What's my own?
so I think based on like the conversations we had over the break and the way that the thing had just, when we came back, it was like, okay, we're not in this thing again, and that was it. And the thing is that now we're friends. We're very good friends, and we used to ask ourselves as early as last year or as recently as last year, we're asking ourselves, but what actually happened? Because we're laughing about the thing, guy. We didn't break up, so you are married. So who is cheating? I know,
Yep.
you know. But I think that was a. I would say that we failed. I would say that we failed because it could have been something good. We don't know that. We did not even
But
try
you didn't even
to.
stay to
Yes,
find out.
yes. We just like, and we didn't even close it out. So there wasn't any conversation to say, okay, this thing is not working. Okay, this is what I feel. There wasn't any communication. So there wasn't any opportunity to learn about ourselves, to grow through that phase. It was just you see pressure and you
You've
escape.
room.
Yes. So I think that one was a failure.
So I just again, I cannot even pretend. This is my first time I'm hearing this story. We've recorded it. So I'm just going to tell you people like the insights we got from this particular story. So I think it's very interesting that you reckon it a failure because not not because it fizzled or it
Yeah.
died, but because you people did not take the opportunity to like embrace the discomfort and pick out whatever um jewels you could have gotten from that situation,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it could have been a good thing,
It could have been a good thing.
but both of you were being avoidant.
Yes.
So maybe
Highly
sometimes,
avoidant.
so maybe
Highly.
sometimes failure is not in the crashing, it's in the avoiding the
The
crash.
crash.
Ah,
It's in the avoiding
Holy
the
Spirit, I
crash.
just want to say thank you, because I know this on the previous time, and now it's coming out nicely because you're soothing the pain in my chest. I'm like, we recorded. But anyway, again, failure is just okay. Yeah, well, this is not spoiled, but like I'm still left with this sand and stones
Yes.
and bricks.
Mm-hmm.
What can I
Do
pick from
exactly.
this?
What kind
Because
of
if you
people?
and the thing is, I feel like if you leave it bare,
Mm-hmm.
you will keep replicating it.
Yes.
You will keep repeat those bricks and sand. You find it in the front, but like
If you know what to do with it,
it's different.
exactly.
It's
Then
better.
when you find it in the front, you know what to. Exactly.
You don't keep repeating the same school and class over and over again. So yeah, that's dope. And also to mention that you have one of the coolest romantic failure stories, because at least it not involve and I'll throw his shirt. He slapped me, I slapped him back.
I'm so
people have seen
anti-drama.
Shege.
I would never
You run
tear
away.
somebody's shirt. Yes, I'll just cry and go. If there was
Yoruba
something
men would do this to you, you would
tear somebody's
Mafor.
Is it that
I've never personally I've never been, but I know that it happens.
Some things have happened.
I'm waiting for the time that we'll have somebody on this podcast that will say, what? I touched it! And it's coming.
I broke his TV.
I punctured his tires.
People like that, but that's too much.
No, but they will do things to you. You don't understand. I don't see.
It will pain you.
I really will.
It will uproot. It will literally change your DNA.
I leave it to God.
Leave it to.
I leave it. She said, leave it to.
God is very faithful.
Don't kill me. Don't kill
never
me.
Leave
All right. Cool. Moving on from romantic relationships. I just want to land on the big one now. You've told us your biggest win. If I were to ask you, your biggest L, as it relates to failure
in my life,
in your life. So you remember Forbes under 40 under 40? Yes. They would have put you. If you say, "Oh, my friendships now, the losers club," to qualify
for the club.
For the club,
what
is the biggest? Yes. What's your bio?
What's my bio? I think I don't know if it is the biggest, but it's the one that. This is the one that hit me different. There's some things you can really fail at something and be awful at it, but then there's a way that you fail at something and it changes your identity. You know, wow. that's like this one, and this one is very recent, right? So, and I'm saying this on the podcast. Oh,
so this is exclusive.
My parents should not watch this podcast.
Stop!
You keep giving me.
They will get to know you better.
No,
they'll be proud of you.
God. So actually, it was my master's thesis. So I failed my master's thesis.
Sorry, come again.
Yes. So
the masters that your parents sent you to the abroad to do. Please tell them which abroad, which particular abroad.
So I was in Germany. I was doing it at the University of Hamburg, and the first. So what happened was when I say I failed it, because of course I have the masters now, so something must have happened. Please, I have a degree.
2 degrees.
I can show it's here for my parents. I graduated.
Before you want to run for presidency, they'll say, "Oh, she was never a graduate." No, she's a graduate.
Yes, but what happened was when I did the first take. When I did the first take of the masters, a lot of things were happening at the time, and a lot of things were happening to me emotionally, A lot of things were happening even around me. I was living with family. We had a new baby at home, plus other kids to look after. And then there was a lot of stuff that I assumed would go easy that did not, because the work I was doing, I was trying to analyze some media content and stuff like that. I thought I would get some stuff easily. I didn't. I procrastinated some stuff as well. And then I was just really in a very bad space physically, because I was taking some meds that were messing with my body, insomnia, mood swings from the pit of hell.
Are you serious?
Yes, it was really, really bad, you know. So and then I was sick. I was sick a lot. So all of that put together, I was working on the thesis, trying my hardest, but it was just not going. Some days I'll just look at the laptop like this, 4 hours, and I
Nothing.
fit to type
Jesus.
anything serious that makes sense.
Hmm.
Nothing, you know. Towards the end of towards like the deadline, I realized I wasn't going to be able to finish. And thankfully, the way that the structure was set up was, you could, if you failed, you had one more, you could do one more try. So I actually sat down, and talked to myself for a bit, and I was like, Mafor,
Yes.
you will fail.
Okay.
Because there's no like there's no magic. You can't finish this thesis in the time when you need to finish it. You will not you will either put a lot of pressure on yourself and break, or you will do a very bad job
And
and
tarnish
act
your
yes,
reputation forever.
you will actually do a very bad job and have a very, very poor,
Mm.
very, very poor mark, and then it will just be rubbish. And you might probably still have to do it again the second time, because you probably do nonsense this first
Mm.
time. So a lot was happening. And I remember I even spoke like with my family at the time, my uncle, and I was like, I don't know if I can finish this thesis. And then we got sick. It was COVID, because like that was during like COVID
Wow.
2021. So we
Wow.
all got sick at home. Everybody was sick, sick people looking after each other.
Nice.
Like Christmas was really hard.
Oh, wow.
Christmas and the New Year was hard for us because we're all sick. So my supervisor actually asked me, she said, don't you think you should just get a 3 month extension and finish
Mm.
instead of failing?
Mm.
Because I actually spoke with her and I said, I want to fail my thesis,
Why?
intentionally fail. Like, I want to just not submit. They'll mark it as a fail, then I do the second try.
Okay.
You get, yes.
Okay.
So she said, do you need an extension? We had the conversation. Do you need an extension and everything? I said, I don't think I do. I don't think that an
It would
extension will
work.
help me. And also because the thing is that in that case, you can't redo the same thesis. You have to start afresh.
Ah.
And I felt like maybe I need to also start afresh. Like, this thing is has been stressing me. I'm stressed. Everything is like 3 months might probably not help. And she said, okay, that's fine. So the deadline passed, and then they sent me a notice of thesis failure. It was easy to say it in the moment, like, oh, I'm going to fail, let's just cancel it. And then when that
When you
notice
said
came,
notice, even me, I
yes,
felt
when
something.
that notice came into my email, like, dear Glory Mafor, we just want to inform you that you have failed your thesis, blah, 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 blah. They have to send you, like, the documentation and everything, because that's what you have to now use to apply for the second time. I sat with myself.
Ah.
I was like, ah, I know that this was a lot of things happened, but I also know that I probably, some part of me is like, you did not push enough.
Yeah.
You should have pushed more. You
Oh.
should have pulled the all nighters. You should have pushed your body
I mean, you were
more.
able to pass
People have,
physics.
thank you. People have done it. You don't know how your classmates also survived the entire. I kept
Oh.
telling myself all of these things, and so it really hit me hard, because I'm like, when it comes to academics, I don't fail.
Oh.
I do not fail. I had my first C when in the university, like C grade in my transcript. So I don't know what this is.
Oh my God.
You get. So when I saw that and I sat with it, I couldn't even tell my parents. I just told them that, you know what, I'm still writing my thesis. Because how will I explain that, people, this thesis, so
It didn't thesis.
It did not thesis this time around. So the second time I applied and everything, and then I now took the time, wrote the thesis, finished it, thankfully, successfully, please. But it even while I was doing it the second time, I kept berating myself. You could have finished it in the first try. You could have finished it in the first try. You could have done it. You could have done it. You
Yeah.
gave up. You
Yeah.
failed yourself. You failed your family. You failed your. It was a lot. A lot was happening
That's
in my
a
head.
lot.
A lot was happening in my head.
And the fact that when you were going to start the story, you said it even shaped shaped your identity.
It shook me. It really shook me.
What was that like? Like what part of your identity changed and how?
Um, I mean, okay, I could. I grew up as a very perfectionist child, So if we were not, everything has to be like straight. Firstborn,
First
perfectionist.
daughter.
First daughter, perfectionist, and then you know how they always say when you're very like children who were very brilliant when they were younger, the pressure that they're under to always be. So there was a pressure to always be like, you know, have these pass everything, succeed at everything. Even when I was failing, the physics and the
Yeah.
chemistry, that was hard to take in
Yeah.
at that stage. But it was like, okay, in the end I passed.
Yeah.
In the end, when like final exam, I passed my final
But
exam.
that's a bad,
I
yeah.
balanced it, But this one,
Did not
this was the point where I got to where it was like,
This
it
a
is
dead
in
end.
your record. Yes, you failed thesis. I said, who fails thesis? So, so it was for me, and it was a point where I got to where I was like, hi,
Who am I?
so I'm not this brilliant, straight A's, must pass everything, can never fail at school person.
And that shakes your reality because
Yes.
in your head you've built a boundary around yourself to say
Like if
there are
it's
some things
book
that
work,
I can
yes.
never. So now
You
that you
see
know
this
that
book
you
work.
can actually fail,
What?
it's like, what is the extent of my failing capacity now?
Exactly. And that's why, like, even when I think about doing a PhD, part of me is like, do you remember where we are coming
No,
from?
but the good thing about PhDs, you won't say you just always be in waiting.
Yes, you
In
just
view.
and you can be in view like that for
Forever. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good
but
thing.
it really that thing
Wow.
shook me. It shook me.
Now that you are here,
Mhm.
and I'm just going to remind you that we've talked about, like, just count.
Yeah.
If you bring everything together, what would you tell yourself if you could go back to 2021 and talk to the Mafor that was wrestling with thoughts of, wow, you are a failure? What would you tell Mafor now?
What would I tell that Mafor now? It's not that deep. Honestly.
This is all.
I would have said
even in the abroad.
I would have said it's not that deep.
Wow.
I would have said it's not that deep because first of all, I now realize that I was not the only person. In the beginning you think you're alone, but after having these conversations, then other professors and supervisors were like, oh, in 2 years ago there was a student who lost the dad, and no, there was this other person. Oh, you're not the first person to repeat your thesis. Everybody repeats this. I'm like, really?
You didn't tell me.
You didn't put this information in the leaflets. Let me know that I have
allowed.
Exactly. Something you can get overwhelmed, and yeah. So I think just I would tell her it's really not that deep. It's not life or death. Yeah, you have another chance. Like you literally have another chance. It's not even where you had to beg for it. It was there. I just needed to, you have another chance, and you can always it's better. It's better to pause and recollect and start again. Like that is not failure. Because now that I look back, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I stopped. I took 6 months. I breathed. And then I said, okay, I think let's do this again. And now the second time around, I still did it under pressure
Yeah.
because for some reason I was doing it while I started a new role. I started two new roles.
Interesting.
I'm a mad person.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I moved back to Cameroon from Europe. Like my life was just moving around. Everything was happening.
Yeah.
So there was still pressure. I remember going to church for like event and I'm doing my thesis in the car, my laptop, and my siblings are looking at me. My father is like, this book, is
This
it only you that is going to school? I'm
it's
like, you
only
people
you.
don't understand.
Yeah.
But the second time around, I was not overwhelmed. It was just like, okay, I know that this thing is hard and there's pressure, but I can finish it.
Hmm.
I can do it. I did it. I submitted it. Everything went okay. But I needed that pause. It
Yeah.
was very necessary. It was really very necessary. And so I would tell her, Madam, chill, calm down,
Breathe in.
pause,
Breathe
breathe
out.
out.
That's so beautiful. And you know the funny thing is, the circumstances did not change. You
No,
still
there was still a
had
lot of
pressure,
yes. There was
but
still a
it
lot of
was a matter of timing.
Mhm.
It was a matter of timing. I won't call it internal timing.
Yes.
You yourself got yourself to a point of, okay, now I think I want to go at it, even though it is hard.
And now I've grown. Because now I feel like if the circumstances were even the same the second time around, I would have probably,
Still,
just breezed through it.
hmm,
Because you know how you don't know what you can overcome until you overcome it.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's like I went through that season. And so the second time around, it was like, no,
yeah.
you
No,
have been
that's,
through it.
I
So,
feel like as a fellow, again, I'm a prof in waiting. My
mm,
children are going to call me prof.
yes.
They will.
Please, because
I prophesy. They say we should prophesy.
Ah,
My children will call me prof. See,
prof,
prof, what's for lunch?
professor. That's
Prof.
it. That's it. That's it.
Okay, so like I understand academic failure and the emotional toll
Mm-hmm.
it takes on people.
Mm.
And for people who are not like passionate about it, they're like, it's your book now, guys, it's not that deep. But I'm imagining a student somewhere listening to this and feeling like, first of all, is not entering, is not working. Maybe
Mm.
it's not thesis, maybe it's an exam. You've tried over and over and over again. It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, no. But you don't realize that it's just now that it's not working. It's not working now does not mean it will
It will
work in
never
two
work.
months
Yes.
or in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes pause
Mm-hmm.
if you can. I know some people cannot. And in Mafor's case, she felt like she cannot. She was like, fail me. And she found out that she didn't die. You won't die.
You will not die.
That's actually like, okay, last you'll be a dropout, but you won't even be.
Exactly.
Because we have opportunities to go again. And if you will take that opportunity to go again anyway, why are you killing yourself
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't get it at the first try?
Yeah.
No, that won't touch me. Because I could see you suffering as someone failing their thesis. And then that email. Do you still have that email?
Of course, I still have
Oh,
a notice of
delete it
failure.
now.
Are you joking?
Well, it's
It's
proof.
part of the.
It's a fail proof.
Yes.
Hey! Hey! It actually is.
It's
a fail
proof.
Because
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's
Proof of
beautiful.
failure. I can say when I will be advising my children or doing that motivation, when I will start being a motivational speaker, I say
Yeah.
I failed though.
Look
This
at
is
it.
No, I'm not lying. It's not those.
I just forwarded an
Yes.
email to you. Look at it.
I failed.
I failed.
Let me just tell
But
you.
did I die?
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Am I flourishing?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's beautiful. So we've gotten the big,
Yes.
cat out
Mhm.
of the bag, the big L. So now I just want you to speak to anyone failing in any of the areas you've talked about right now. And we've talked about failing as like losing a streak,
Mhm.
failing in friendships, failing in romance,
Yeah.
failing in school. What would you tell someone who is still trying to figure out what their relationship to failure
Is.
should look like? Yeah, like
Mm.
what do I do? I'm at a dead end, I'm not moving. What would you tell that person?
Hmm. Um. Okay. This is something that helps me even now when I think something is hard or I'm failing at it or I'm struggling. And I feel like on this podcast, people are going to say some really elaborate
Yeah.
they're going to say some really elaborate or give some really elaborate
Advice,
lessons
yeah.
and counsel. But for me, I just want to plug this very small verse, right? One of my favorite verses of scripture is Hebrews 10:39. We are not of those who draw back
Hmm.
unto destruction, but we are those who persevere through faith unto salvation. I speak to myself, I tell myself that all the time.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's about faith, but I apply it to everything else in my life. And I always remind myself it's an identity thing.
Hmm.
I might be failing at the thing.
But I am not.
I'm not of those who fall back onto destruction. So I can fall back.
Church.
I can fall back, but I will not fall into the pit. I will get up and I will persevere through faith until I get to where I'm going. So
I am of
yes,
those
so
that try
I've
again.
stumbled. Yes, I fall. Yes, I'm of those that try again. We will get up. We will persevere through. We will arrive where we are going. That's the one thing that helps me now. I tell myself that scripture almost every day because there's always something.
Oh.
There's always something that
Yeah.
wants like challenge you, but every time I am not
Of those,
of those who fall back.
that's so freeing because as you were speaking now, a memory just came to mind. I struggled with my master's thesis as well. And it was like you said, life was happening. And I still see myself in my room in Sheffield. I'm on the bed. When you can see that you should be doing this,
but
you cannot bring yourself. Yes. And I remember I'll be telling the Holy Spirit, like, God, you're not gonna give me scholarship, oh. But maybe I didn't even recognize that it was an identity thing because I just allowed myself be in that moment that, okay, it's fine. All I know is that who I am is not someone that loses completely.
Yes.
So I may be losing now, but I just know that the end of it, my identity is not someone who loses out.
Yes.
So let me sleep.
We'll try again tomorrow.
Exactly. We will try again. And it's beautiful that God allows us that. I think of it as a pillow of clouds. When I'm very heavy and I'm like, I cannot keep going. The image that comes to mind is God has put, like, you know how in cartoon he just puts clouds and it's
then
like,
you just sleep on it like a baby.
Just sleep.
That's such a beautiful picture.
And then we'll go again, but in the meantime,
can we just rest?
Let me rest my pretty little head.
Thank you.
And you do that, but in the middle of that, not forgetting that who you are is not a loser. It gives you space to breathe and try again. Because losing is part of the game. Because you just said persevere. If there was nothing to lose, there is nothing to persevere. You are persevering the losses.
Trying again. Probably still failing again.
But rest on the cloud. Meanwhile, just rest your head. And wow. This is so... I feel like it's... I'm sorry, I will sound very spiritual. This was so healing. Because you find out there are things you were grasping onto that you could have... Wow. Please, you said the Hebrews 10:39.
39, yes.
We're not of those that it's not a doing thing, it's a being thing.
It's a being thing.
Who you are.
This is who we are. We are those that persevere until we arrive.
You were programmed to arrive because you persevere. So on that note, First Lady Cameroon.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's been, I know we did not even anticipate it was going to go in this direction.
Exactly.
But it's been so beautiful to have you. You've spoken to people on so many levels, whether romance, friendship. I like the way you think about failure now. I like the way you allow yourself fail. In fact, I think you were very bold to say, I will fail this masters and then I'll try again. It's like what Jesus did when he said, I will go to the cross, but I will resurrect. Because like you can see it's not like the
Yes.
failure shocked you. No,
I knew.
you chose it.
I failed.
You
It's like,
intentionally-
let's enter
So,
inside.
I think you're a very brave person. I think your story,
Oh,
you
thank
should keep that email.
Thank
You
you.
will show people and say, I knew I walked into the lion's den because I knew I would come out. Hey, who is Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego? I entered the fire because I knew. So yeah, that's beautiful. So thank you for being here. Take our greetings back to Cameroon.
Yes.
Tell them all about amala.
Yes.
And like preach to all and sundry the beauty that is the meal that is amala. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Okay.
I cannot help it. So yeah, guys, see you on the. We should have a sign off. We always struggle with the sign off. Actually,
sign off.
What do we say now? There's a quote. Oh, just count. I love that quote.
Oh,
so now, if you think you're failing, sometimes maybe just count, right?
Count what you've actually.
Count your blessings. Count. So like on that note, peace, guys. Bye bye. See you later. Mwah, mwah, mwah.